So we're back on the GS850. This is 1982, so it's about as old as I am, because I was born in 1982, and redid the valves and adjusted the valves, replaced the shims and that. So hopefully now it'll be top notch for that. So I've got to get the carbs back together and put all these covers back on. On this guy, we got a breather, and that's what she looks like. So I got a gasket for that. We're going to get that on, and then we're going to put the valve cover on the engine. So open this up. Should be doing this on a table. But there's that. Get my bolts here. So these don't need very much from what I've seen as I looked online there, because it doesn't tell me in my climber manual, which, as I talked to a buddy of mine, he was telling me climbers are not as good as Haynes in that they don't give as much information. And I was looking in there for a carburetor exploded view, and they don't really give one, and I was surprised, like, what? Come on. But I don't know if a Haynes would or not. But they were saying for these bolts here, 12 to 15 inch-pounds. And I don't have a torque wrench that will go down that low here with me now. So I plan to just snug it down, maybe just a tiny bit more. But we're not gonna get wild with it. That's for sure. So like I said, just snug them down. Do the crisscross pattern here. And they say if the that's me making that noise. If it's starting to bulge out, your gasket, then you're over torquing it and you need to back it off. So this is looking pretty good to me. Maybe a little extra here. Alright. Get her put in here now. So I got some of these half moon camshaft ends, and they just go right in there, like that there, see down there. I don't like this idea. I think it was a flawed idea. I mean, my Honda CB1100, I haven't pulled it apart yet to see what it's got. But if you look, that right there is the same thing. That's the valve cover, and that's the valve end cap. Whoa. Right there. But I haven't pulled it off, so I don't know what's under there. I don't know if it's the same design or not. I'm hoping it's not. But it looks like it's got some goo on it. But I think it's just the temperature. Let's give her a quick wipe. Oh, that one? Yeah, it's just the moisture. Because I've had the heater on. Yeah, now she's all shined up and shimmering. Look at that. You can see the whole garage. Ah! Yeah, there she is, the Butte. Drop back down here. Back down here now, boys. Boom. Got me a new tripod. It was a gift, and I love it. So, get a little closer for you. I mean, you can't see much, I guess. There we are. We'll do a quick break and continue. So I'm using a silicone based Seal Glide. This is a Napa product, but this is good for lots of things. It's non-melting, non-freezing, non-gumming, and it's weatherproof. So it's great for brake parts. It prevents pad squeal, eliminates caliper sticking, squeaking, fan belts, trunk seals, and weather stripping. And it's good for rubber gaskets and O-rings and stuff like that. So this has O-rings on it here. An O-ring. So I put some on there. I just popped that out, ran all the way around it, put it back in, and wiped the excess off. I mean, it's got a little bit on there, but it's good. And then you got this. This little guy here is what you're going to use when you sink the carbs. So you want that to stick down so it's easily accessible. So I've got a couple of them on here already. And they are actually pointing to that side over there. And this will point to this side over here. Talking about this guy. Now it's just a matter of getting it lined up. You can't see what I'm doing, but use the screwdriver here, help us a little bit. And so you got to watch these clamps. This guy here keeps getting in my way, so you got to just pay attention to where that's located. do a little bit of reverse thread going to the left or counterclockwise, and then once it pops into where it needs to be, just throw it in there. I'll get this other one in there, and then I won't have to hold this, which will allow me to go faster. Alright. Now I can use both hands and just fly with it. And I just snug them down real good there. And then again, you got to pay attention to this. Get it to where you're going to be able to use your screwdriver on it, because you're going to need to be able to access it when you put the carbs on. So these are nice little intake boots. And like I said, I've already put the Sail Glide on there, so we are good to go. Only with these bolts, both of my washers have fallen off. So the first thing, already, this guy is in my way. So I'm just going to rotate it this way. Good enough for now. Stick this in there, line it up, and a little bit of reverse thread again. It seems to be easier with the screwdriver. There we go. Alright, and I'll get the other one in there. So again, I've got this down at the bottom. That way it's easily accessible when I sink the carbs. Not quite lined up. Loosen this a bit. Allow some free play. There we go. And so, as you can see, swap these out. That was a number 3 JIS. And this is your number 2 JIS. Looks similar to Phillips, but is not. So right now, we're about like this, and the other one is under here. I like that. Back there, we're good. So you just want to make sure that this is going to be easily accessible here. Honestly, I might just bring this down a bit. There we go. Alright, so I'm going to loosen this ever so slightly. Taking a note of where they are located. All right. So now we're ready for the carbs. So with the carb, I get the choke back on here. So this is the choke. I'm going to take 2 of these screws out, here and here, and then this will sit just like that. Then we're going to take the throttle cable, and we're going to bring it down, and it's going to sit right in this groove here. And go on down and hook in where it needs to. Boy, this this is what it's normally like when you put these on. Woo-hoo. I need a better leverage point. They're going. It's just, you gotta struggle through it. Don't worry, I make a lot of noise. Sometimes it's pain. Sometimes it's struggle and a strain. That'd make a good song right there. Sometimes it's just pain. Other times it's just a struggle and strain. Some old country song, I could hear it right now. Boy, wouldn't that be irritating. Alright, so we are on there. Now we just got to tighten these up. So we've got the high flow filter. Pull that out. There we go. And would you look at that? It comes with O-ring. I have the old one, which I just cleaned up. Still looks good, but looks like they've sent a new one with it. So we'll probably just use the new one. If it'll have the right shape and fit. And yeah, I mean that's kind of it. I like the old one better, but we'll see if we can get this one to fit properly. Kind of had it crammed in there. So yeah, I mean, it's fitting pretty good, but it's a bit out of whack. So I'll go ahead and use the Seal Glide again. Put that on it. Maybe that'll help it to stick in the groove a little better. So in the end, I ended up using the old O-ring because the new one wasn't wanting to lay right in the groove. And when it comes to doing this stuff, there's just too much room for error there, where I can't get in here when I'm pushing the thing on to make sure that it's seated properly. So I've just decided to go with the old one. Now, as you can see, possibly here on these bolts, we've got some RTV silicone that needs to get off of there. We'll take a little wire brush. This is actually more like a nylon wire brush. It's not metal wires. That's been a pain. Get some up on the front of the engine. I need to get my light. That's better. Kind of hard to see that one over there. Try to use my phone here and get a better view of it. Make sure that it's clean. Yeah, looks pretty clean. Do a thorough or a final inspection here by feel. There we got it. Add a little piece up there. Clean that. All right. Now, back to the filter. So here's the filter, and of course it does have an O-ring. A lot of the time people will put oil here to help seal it, but I don't think I have oil on hand, which is a shame. But I can go ahead and again use this Seal Glide, and that will help it to seal and protect it from dry rotting and things of that nature. So put that on there in place of the oil this time. We are ready. Put this on there. There it is. Slides right in there, boys. And here's our old O-ring. A little bit of junk on there. Get that off. And I got the Seal Glide on there. So I'll just stick that right up here. Well, maybe if I get my hand positioned properly. It's proving difficult to see what I'm doing. Yeah, there we go. There we go. All right. Now, find my nuts, put those on. Now, here are, man, this is what we're looking for. These little guys here. There's two. Where's the third one? Well, it looks like this is our third one. It's just a regular nut, doesn't have the cap on it. All right. that's number 10. There it is. And there's our number 10. That one's just difficult. Alright. Now if I had some oil I could dump it in there. And that just takes 10W40 SAE. So I might need to go get some here shortly and get it in there. But I need to go ahead and tighten up the bolts on the other side of the engine, and then need to work on the air box, getting that put on. So I'll touch base with you when it's time for the air box.